In this video, the CRF300Ls get a facelift. And as always, at least for me, when modifying things did not go according to plan. Tusk handlebars and hand guards, TST Industries turn signals, new levers, double take trail mirrors. Let's get started. So about 10-15 minutes after I got started, I hit my first snag. These Tusk handguards are not compatible with the stock bars. Even after removing the factory inserts, which are a 6mm thread, the Tusk requires an 8mm thread. The stock bars are so low, the crossbar pushes the front mounting bracket too far away from the handguard and the holes won't line up. So I ordered a couple pairs of Tusk handlebars, figuring Tusk handguards should mate with Tusk bars, and they do. Tusk makes an 1.1/8" bar called a Chub bar, but I'd already purchased the 7/8 handguards. And on the 300L, the lower part of the bar clamp is integrated into the top triple clamp, so I would have had to purchase an adapter. Keep that in mind if this is a modification you plan on making to your 300L. The handguards are sold specific to either 7/8 or 1.1/8 bars. If you want to run 1.1/8 bars on your 300L, you'll also have to purchase an adapter. Even on other bikes, OEM bars are typically 7/8. So even if your lower clamp is not integrated into the top triple clamp, you'll still have to change out the risers from 7/8 to 1.1/8. Changing out the bars is pretty straightforward. You need a few basic hand tools. You don't need to completely remove the number 2 Phillips or the 8mm bolts from the hand controls, just loosen them. Once you remove the 12mm bolts and the top clamp, just slide everything off the old bars one side at a time and then onto the new bars one side at a time. That way you don't have to mess with any of the cable adjustments. Once everything's back together, verify everything's working properly. You will have to cut the end of the throttle tube off. I just used a hacksaw. So you can slide the insert for the handguards into the bar ends, and because you're not going to reuse the stock handlebars, you'll need new grips. I use 3M Super 33 spray adhesive when installing new grips, but there's dozens of options. You'll also need to cut the end of the grips out, again, so the inserts for the handguards can go into the bar ends. Use your razor knife, get the hole in the neighborhood of where you need it so you can see what you're doing. And then to make the final cut, check this out. You kind of smash it down, flatten it, and then you get the razor blade started. Let's see if I can get my hand out on there. Get the razor blade started, and then you can just roll it, keeping it flat, and drag the razor blade along the grip, the edge of the grip. That'll take that cap off and leave you with a nice, well, where are we? Nice edge, no lip. That's the easiest, probably safest way to do it. If you have any other ideas, suggestions on how to cut that off to get your handguards on, let me know. For the TST Industries turn signals, they have a great tutorial on YouTube that I followed to install mine. There's a link in the description, but I do have one caveat. On the TST video that I put in the link, I do have one, I don't know, small commentary. The way he prepped it, he populated everything at once. For me, the way the brackets are on the CRF300, you cannot populate everything at once. And I'm also not a super fan of the way he stacked it. And also, I don't know if the bracket on the bike that he did was just different, but here, the teardrop, the first part is all correct. You put the teardrop on, and then I'm going to send this through the bracket. I'm going to put, come on, maybe I'm not. Once I've run that through the bracket, then I put this on with the flat washer. He calls it a crush washer, lock washer, split washer. It's all the same shit, right? Then that, and then the nut. Once I get this fed through the bracket, this all comes in on the backside. I also used TST Industries Tidy Up Kit for the rear end of the bike. I should have that video up next weekend, and it seems to be pretty nice stuff. We'll see how it holds up over time, but I'm pleased with my purchase so far. And for the last step, I removed the reflectors from the bottom of the triple tree and retorqued the bolts to spec because this is a Honda, not a Huffy. Same thing on my Harleys. It's a Harley, not a Huffy. Even if it was a Huffy, I'd remove those reflectors. But Adam, DOT regulations state... Stop it. With this defunding movement, we've got kids riding quads and mini bikes up and down Lancaster Boulevard. The few remaining law enforcement officers couldn't care less if your motorcycle has reflectors. But Adam, what about safety? If you can find me a story where reflectors prevented a motorcycle accident, I'll give you a 771 Cycles hat. I was driving along and I didn't see the motorcycle until I caught the reflection of the reflector. It's never happened. Reflectors are useless and they're an eyesore. It's just another hoop the government makes manufacturers jump through. So it started out as a simple replacement of the useless factory handguards and mirrors, turned into replacing the bars, grips, handguards, turn signals, mirrors, and the elimination of the factory reflectors. And here is the new and improved front end, with the turn signals that look like something from 1992 and the mirrors that resembled garden snail eyes replaced. The addition of handguards that actually protect your hands and levers, mirrors that don't get knocked loose after the smallest of laydowns. These 300s are now much more roadworthy and ready to take a beating. I'm purposely not mentioning the new levers because I'm not sure how I feel about them. My plan is to remove the factory levers, reshape, Duracoat, and then reinstall them. But the facelift is basically complete. Next week, we will take a look at the butt lift. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, turn on all notifications. We're trying to build up the channel so that we can build and raffle off bikes, donate the proceeds to a local charity. The subscriptions, the likes, the watch time really helps the channel out. In this video, the CRF300Ls get and TST Tusk Handlebars.